So if you want to do maybe a suitability analysis, for example, this particular area, Lagos map, we want to cite an infrastructure, maybe a mast or a cable network. We just want to select a place based on particular criteria, for example, elevation. So if you want to cite probably a mast and you have a criteria saying that the elevation should be higher than 35 but should be lower than probably 90, and you want to do that analysis to find out places in this study area that have elevation higher than 35 but lower than 90, you can always do that with a raster calculator. And what a raster calculator does is that it gives you two values. The first value is saying yes, this place I have selected for you are higher than 35 but lower than 90. Then the second result is saying this place do not meet this suitability criteria that you have given me. So let's see how it works. So if you come to the search buttons, raster calculator, and you press search or you press enter. Now this is the raster calculator. You select raster calculator. You are going to get this dialog box on the screen once you click on raster calculator. If you want to use this study them, then once to bring the study them, you double click. Study them is greater than 35. We put it in parentheses. And if you want to use all, this is all here. This is all. But I'm making use of end. This is end. So we are saying study them is greater than 35. Based on the criteria we stated, study them is greater than 35. And you come back and bring in the study them again by double clicking on it. Study them is less than 90. You make sure you also put this in parentheses. This criteria says if the study them greater than 35 and study them less than 90, and you come to the output, you select the output location. I'll save this as them criteria and I'll click OK. It's processing. So we find out that we have this result, which is them criteria, and it's giving us two results from what I said earlier on, that you only get two results. So it's saying for those places with green, which is 0, your criteria is not met, and for those places with purple, your criteria is met. If we go through the attribute table to look into what we have under the attribute table, we only have 3 records inside this attribute table where your criteria is met, which is 1. You can see the purple, which is 1, and is 0. Right under this record now, places with 0, your criteria is not met, and we have 25 count, that is 25 places from this raster them that your criteria is not met, and we have 71 places where your criteria is met under this them. We can use more streamlined criteria for suitability analysis, and we can also combine raster. So for example, if we have a raster that is representing them and you have another raster that is representing probably land use, and you want to say for raster A, where raster A, which is the them, has probably less than 35 for the elevation, and raster B, which is land use, land cover, is equal to green area, vegetation area, you are combining those two raster and you are saying you want to create a suitability analysis where you have a raster that will come as having an elevation that is greater than 35, and that place is equally a green area. So you can combine those two raster to give just one raster, and saying this is the particular criteria for particular area you want to select, because probably I want to do farming in a particular place and I don't want that place to have flood or to be prone to flooding or erosion and all that. So you are giving the criteria to those raster using raster calculator and saying that you want to have a suitable place. Suitability analysis is all about that. That is that for raster analysis.